Hello, my name is Bruce-Guadalupe, and I'll be reciting Uphill by Christina Rossetti. Does the hill wind uphill all the way? Yes, to the very end. Does the journey take a whole day? Yes, from morning to night, my friend. Will there be a night, a resting place, for when the slow, dark hours begin? Shall the night hide it from my face? You cannot miss that in. Shall I meet other wayfarers at night, those who have gone before? Will there be a resting place, and for all who come? Yeah, I bet for all who come.
Hello, my name is Edgar, and I will be performing Lincoln. What I might rose Lincoln in you all, that which is gendered in the wilderness, from lonely prairies and God's tenderness, an imperial soul, star of a weedy stream, born where ghosts of buffalo still dream, whose hooves beat storm above his grave, above the breast of earth, and prairie fires, fire that freed the slave.
My name is Margarita and I'll be reciting the poem Catch a Little Rhyme by Merriam. Once upon a time, I caught a little rhyme. I set it on the floor, then I ran right out the door. I chased it on my bicycle, then it melted to an icicle. I scooped it up in my hat, then it turned into a cat. I caught it by its tail, but it stretched into a whale. I followed it in a boat, but it changed into a goat. I fed it tin and paper, then it became a tall skyscraper. It grew into a kite, then flew far out of sight. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Roxane. I will recite a poem called Weird Owl by Richard Wilbur. The rapid night air has brought the boom of an owl's voice into our darkened room. We tell the waking child that all she heard was an odd question from a forest bird, asking of us if I listen to, who cooks for you, and then who cooks for you. Words can make our terrors bravely clear, can also thus domesticate a fear, and send a small child back to sleep at night, and listen to the sound of a steady flight, or dreaming of some small thing in a claw, boring up in some dark branch, and eating raw.
Hello, my name is Rocky Lopez, and I will be reciting the poem Isla by Vigil Suarez. In Los Angeles, I grew up watching the Three Stooges, Little Rascals, Speed Racer, and the Godzilla movies. Those my mother called Los Monstros. And though yet I did not speak English, I understood why such a creature would, being raised up from its centuries-long slumber, rise and destroy Tokyo's buildings, cars, people. I understood by the age of 12 what it meant to be unwanted, exiled, how you moved from one country to another where nobody wanted you, nobody knows you. I sat in front of the TV, transfixed by the snow fist of our old black and white. And when Godzilla bellows this eardrum-crushing growl, I screamed back, a victory holler from one so rejected to another. And when the monster whipped its tail and destroyed, I threw a pillow across my room. And each time my mother would come in, asking what I was doing, what I thought was doing by throwing pillows across the room. Ese monstruo, esa isla, she'd say, that monster, that island. And I knew she wasn't talking about the movie. She meant her country, mine, that island in the Caribbean that we left behind. The reptile-looking mass on each map on my globe, that crocodile-like creature rising up again, eating us so completely.
My name is Stephen Torres, and I'll be reciting the poem called The Tide Rises, The Tide Falls by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The tide rises, the tide falls.
The twilight darkens, the curlew calls. Along the sea sands, damp and brown, the traveler hastens toward the town, and the tide rises, the tide falls. Darkness settles on roofs and walls, but the sea in the darkness calls. The little waves with their soft white hands efface the footprints in the sands. And the tide rises, the tide falls. The morning breaks, the steeds in their stalls stamp and neigh as the hostler calls. The day returns, but never more returns the traveler to the shore. And the tide rises, the tide falls.
Hidalgo, and I'll be reciting It Couldn't Be Done by Edgar Albert Guest. Somebody said it couldn't be done, but he, with a chuckle, replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right with a trace of a grin on his face. If he worried, he hid it. And he started to sing as he tackled a thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody scoffed, "You'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it." But he took off his coat, and he took off his hat. And the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, he started to sing as he tackled a thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands to tell you that it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you, one by one, the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle right with a bit of a grin, and take off your coat, and go to it. Just start to sing as you tackle the thing that cannot be done, and you'll do it.
My name is Edgar and I will be reciting Fairy Tale Logic by A.E. Stallings. Fairy tales are full of impossible tasks. Gather the chin hairs of a man-eating goat, across a sulfuric lake in a leaky boat. Select the prince from a row of identical masks, or tiptoe up to a dragon where it basks and snatch its bone. Count dust specks mote by mote, or learn the phone directly by rote. Always it's impossible what someone asks. You have to fight magic with magic. You have to believe that you have something impossible up your sleeve. The language of snakes, perhaps an invisible cloak. An army of ants at your back, a lethal joke. The will to do whatever must be done. Merriam monster, hand over your firstborn son.
Hi, my name is Perez, and I will be reciting The Cities Inside Us by Alberto Rios. We live in sacred cities, and we travel unmapped roads. We speak words between us that we recognize, but which cannot be looked up. They are our words. They come from very far inside our mouths. You and I, we are the secret citizens of the city inside us. And inside us, there go all the cars we have driven and seen. There are all the people we know and have known. There are all the places that are, but which used to be as well. This is where they went. They did not disappear. We each take a piece through the eye and through the ear. It's loud inside us in here. And when we speak in the outside world, we have to hope that some of the sound does not come out. That an arm does not reach out in place of the tongue.
My name is Lazaro Vergara, and the poem I'll be reciting for you guys is Battle Hymn of the Republic by Julia Ward Howe. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed his fatal lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and dams. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. I have read a fiery gospel, written burnished rows of steel. As ye deal with my contemners, so with you my grace shall deal. Let the hero, born of woman, crush the serpent with his heel, since God is marching on. He has sounded forth a trumpet that will never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with the glory in his bosom that transfigures both you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us die to make men free, while God is marching on.
My name is Brandon Delgado, and I'll be reciting My Mother Saw the Green Tree Toad by Lorine Niedecker. My mother saw the green tree toad on the windowsill, her first one since she was young. We saw it breathe and swallow brown. My youth is no sure sign I'll find this kind of thing, though it does sing. Let's take it in, I said, so grandmother can see, but she cannot. It had changed to brown and tan, changed us too.
My name is Mia Flores. I'm going to be doing The Day by Geoffrey Braw. It hangs on a stem like a plum at the edge of a darkening thicket. It's swelling and blushing and ripe, and I reach out a hand to pick it. But flesh moves slow through time, and the evening comes on fast. And just as I think my hand might seize that sweetness at last, the gentlest of breeze rises upon, and the plum lets go of the stem. And now it's my fingers ripening and the evening reaching for them.
My name is Marian Nieves, and I'll be reciting The Cities Inside Us by Alberto Rios. We live in secret cities, and we travel unmapped roads. We speak words between us that we recognize, but which cannot be looked up. They are our words. They come from very far inside our mouths. You and I, we are the secret citizens of the city inside us, and inside us there go all the cars we have driven and seen. There are all the people we know and we have known. There are all the places that are, but which used to be as well. This is where they're at. They did not disappear. We each take a piece through the eye and through the ear. It's loud inside us, and here when we speak in the outside world, we have to hope that some of the sound does not come out, and that an arm does not reach out in the place of our tongue.
My name is Eyleen, and I will be doing The Day by Geoffrey Brock. It hangs on its stem like a plum at the edge of a darkening thicket. It's swelling and blushing and ripe, and I reach out a hand to pick it. But flesh moves slow through time, and evening comes on fast. And just when I think my fingers might seize the sweetness at last, the gentlest breezes rises, and the plum lets go of the stem.
And now it's my fingers ripening and evening that's reaching for them.